Come see what we got cooking in the kitchen this week. We've got a lot of things happening. We've got birthday celebrations. I'm going to show you an estate sale haul. I'm also going to show you a new blessing box that has gone up in my neighborhood, and we are going to get our green thumb started, and we're going to start looking for plants to plant this spring. Then I'm going to take you to a really cool food truck park in our area and show you one of our dear friends, Dre, that we just met. Love this guy. Corey is bringing Charmin home from the groomer, and I'm curious to see if the dogs will recognize her. I went ahead and muted this part because there was a lot of barking and growling, and I know when I'm watching a YouTube video and somebody's dog starts barking, it triggers my dogs, and I don't want to do that to y'all. So let's just say that it was not a warm reception when she got home, and then Corey went to let her outside to go to the bathroom, and B was out there, and B started arching her back. She thought we got a new dog. It was so funny. We were teasing her. We got a new dog. Are you excited?
That's it. I'm pissed now.
I wish Corey looked at me the way he looks at Hazel. I got one sock on. For lunch, we decided to make these mini naan pizzas. We had an open package that we needed to go ahead and use. First, I just grabbed one of these pizza squeeze sauces and just put a little bit on each naan. Then I took one of these tubes of pesto paste and just squeezed a couple of drops on there and spread it out real good. Next, we put on some freeze-dried onions. I didn't even bother rehydrating these, and they were fine just how they were. And then we added a little bit of seasoning, some garlic, some mozzarella cheese. We put on some Italian seasoning. I found an open package of pepperoni in the refrigerator, so I put that on one of them. I also found an open package of olives in there, so I just went ahead and added those as well. Chloe just wanted her pizza plain with just cheese, and I wanted the olives and pepperoni on mine, so obviously you can tell whose is whose there. But we just put that in the oven at 350 and baked it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it was delicious. I would say this is one of my favorite easy meals. Later, we got together with family to celebrate Olivia's 21st birthday. I cannot believe that my baby is 21 now, and we had a great time. My mom came into town from Tyler. It was so good to get together with everyone that we love, and she had a blessed day. I wanted to show y'all a small haul that I got from an estate sale in my neighborhood. Estate sales are really good places to go look for things that help you with preparedness, such as canning jars. You can find furniture at a really good deal. They have leather sofas and couches for like $25, $50. It's really tough for me because I'm a prepper, so to speak, but I'm also trying to live a minimalist lifestyle. I'm at the phase of my life where I'm ready to start downsizing. Corey and I eventually want to move into an RV and travel the country for a couple of years. Whatever we have, we'd like to put in storage. And that's another reason that I'm going to try to kind of dwindle down my food pantry and convert that food into freeze-dried food so we can store it more long term. Let me show you the things that we got at the estate sale. A lot of these things were not really things we needed. I took the girls. I thought it'd be fun for them. They collect records. There was a lot of records there. They collect books, and there was a lot of books there. Olivia is really into the Christmas Dickens Village. We had a yard sale in October and got rid of all of ours, but they had a lot of cute pieces. They had practically the whole line. The bigger buildings was like $5 each, and then they threw in the little people for free. So this one's the bakery. It's got cupcakes. They had the bowling alley, a dog groomer, and so each of these were $5. Chloe is into gardening, so she could not resist getting this. Anytime she sees something with irises on it, she's got to have it. Chloe got the Trivial Pursuit game. She's very much into trivia. She's like a sponge and enjoys absorbing anything. We call her the queen of useless facts because she just remembers and picks up on everything, things that people don't care about. This will give her hours of entertainment. I'm proud of my restraint. I only got 3 things. One of the things I got was a little cookbook from some church choir group. I think I paid 25 cents for this. Got this cute little coffee mug. It's attention to detail. It says, "My kitchen, love it or leave it." And it's just a messy kitchen with cats everywhere. And the picture just kind of continues around the cup. Just looks a lot like my kitchen. So I paid, I think, 25 or 50 cents for this. And the third thing I got was a footrest. I thought this would be good, maybe either on our camper, because I don't really have a place to recline and put my feet up. So I might take it on the camper or just use it in my pantry if I'm needing to sit down low to the ground and put dates on cans or something. This was only $10. It's got this nice iron rod legs. Chloe got a couple of picture frames of irises. Chloe also got quite a few of the Twilight series books, as well as some other books that she's into. I swear she's like an old soul trapped in a young body, but she likes to read all those old books. She said some of them were worth a lot of money. Altogether for everything, we paid $34. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Corey and I found out that there is a blessing box in our neighborhood at one of the churches. It's about 2 miles away. We're going to walk over there and assess it and see if there's any room for us to put more stuff in, because I've got a lot of things I'd like to donate. At last check on a community page, I heard that was pretty full. So we'll see if anybody's taken anything, and we may just go gather some things around the pantry and go replenish it. A lot of people are going through hard times right now, so you know, I know that there's neighbors who want to help neighbors, but we don't know how to reach each other. This is a lot bigger in person than I thought. It's actually taller than me, and that's good to know. It's got a lot more space than I thought it did, and it is full, but there is some room to put some more stuff in here. So we're gonna go home and gather up some things and put them in here. It's good to know that this is here. I already got some peanut butter. I was gonna bring peanut butter. They got soups, beans, a couple of ramen noodles. You can tell there's another prepper that lives in our community. Somebody's put these meal bags together. I have that book called Meal in a Bag, and I've been meaning to do this, but it's where you put an entire meal together, kind of like little MRE kits. So it's got the complete meal. We've got macaroni and cheese, some can of chicken, and then it's got some granola bars. So that's a good idea as well, so somebody can come grab an entire meal, or if they just want some snacks for their kids after school, like pudding or something. So we've got tuna. We've got a lot of these juices. I would like to contribute some of these, but they look like they're good on tuna. They might could use some more pasta. They've got spaghetti back there, some soups.
Maybe some other type of canned meats that we have.
Yeah, that's true. They got some gravy packets. Yeah, they've got a nice supply, so that's good. We'll bring a couple things and help fill in the gaps. I hope people don't take advantage of it. It's definitely an honor system thing, so I hope that the people who could benefit from it are the ones that actually use it. So good to know that it's here. I'd like to see more going up around our community. For dinner tonight, we're making taco salad. I'm going to start off by browning the ground beef. When it was no longer pink, I took a paper towel and just went in and got up the excess grease. And then I added about 2/3 a cup of water, followed by about 1/4 a cup of the taco seasoning to the ground beef, and then I just let it simmer for a bit. Next, we went in with a little bit of freeze-dried onion, followed by some assorted peppers. We added a can of mixed chili beans. We typically use red kidney beans, but we were out and these have red kidney beans in them. I repeated the process for Chloe using the soy textured protein crumbles. I just rehydrated it, added the extra beans. Then we just started layering our taco salad. I probably won't put the chips on the bottom like I did this time. They ended up being soggy by the time we mixed it all together, but it was still delicious. And we used Thousand Island dressing on ours, and Chloe used pecani sauce on hers. It was delicious. I know food truck parks are popping up all over the place, but there's been a lot of talk in our area about this really cool one called Porky's Backyard. They have a whole lot of food trucks, as well as a lot of people get together with their nice classic sports cars. And it's just, if you're into cars, if you're into 80s music, and gathering with your family and your neighbors, this is the place to be. There was such an abundance of food truck choices, it was almost overwhelming. They had a playground for the kiddos. This funnel bar here, I really wanted to try them. My hairstylist said great things about their funnel cakes, but they were closed. I spent a lot of time at this Thai food truck. I was really interested in getting some Thai fried rice, but I wanted to make sure I made the rounds and looked at all my other choices before deciding. So we decided to keep strolling along. I think this barbecue joint was closed. Then there is all kinds of places to sit outside. Lots of people had their dogs. Here was the Twisted Grilled Cheese. I'm trying this one next. They have brisket grilled cheese sandwiches. This guy right here, Dre, is one of my favorite people I've ever met. He manages one of the food trucks and a freestanding restaurant called That One Place. And he is so nice, he just gives me hope for the future generations. Such a polite young man. Frostbite Italian Ice was closed. I wanted to try that. Here is some Colombian food. And then next to that was these Hasselback potatoes. Just so many choices. I was completely overwhelmed. And we just kept looking, and we actually ended up choosing the very last truck we saw. So I'm very glad that we waited to the very end, because the very last truck was Hawaiian food, and we love us some Hawaiian food. So we got some Kahlua pork with some macaroni salad, and I forgot what Corey ordered, but it was definitely delicious, and we will make sure to come back so we can do the rounds and visit other trucks. Once you get inside, it's completely set up like a car garage. They have lots of those virtual reality games, 80s music. It's an awesome experience.
Two hamburger patties, brown gravy, rice, and eggs.
Kahlua pork, macaroni salad, Hawaiian fried rice. I'm a little bit partial because Corey makes the best Kahlua pork, but this is a close second. I decided to take a look around and go upstairs. There is definitely no shortage of places for people to sit, and it's just such a cool concept. Lots of racing video games upstairs, and you can kind of sit up there and overlook all the people below. And I love all these cars right here. This is such a cool place. Corey's getting himself some gumbo to go.
20 minutes.
While we were waiting for Corey's gumbo to be finished, we decided to go walk around the parking lot, look at some of the cool muscle cars and the different unique classic cars they had there. Then it started getting kind of warm and Hazel was getting hot, so her and I decided to go sit in the truck while Corey waited on his gumbo. I loved this place. It's such a cool concept, a great place for families, children. They have a really cool playground, but there were kids there, and I didn't want to be all creepy filming, but it's got a good sized playground, lots to do, indoor, outdoor seating. You can bring your pets, and I loved the 80s music. It dawned on me when I was there, the first time I heard of this place being called Porky's, it made me think of the movie in the 80s. And then I came here and saw all the muscle cars, and that kind of reminded me of the 80s too. And then it just dawned on me. I was like, this is definitely 80s vibes. Say hi to everybody. And I don't know if y'all heard us doing our food review. We had a family sit down next to us, sharing the table, and just the music was blaring, so I have no idea if you could hear us. This place was really neat. It was kind of like a hybrid mall food court and a food truck park, so kind of cool. I think it's called That One Place.
That One Place. I had a problem with their rice machine, so it was taking a lot longer to get the gumbo that I ordered, and I told the kid I didn't really want any rice. I'm fine with it, and so he just gave me the gumbo and didn't charge me. He didn't want to charge me. I wanted to try paying, but he didn't charge me, so I waited too long anyway, so I gave him a $5 tip. But this place here, you got to check it out. This is a nice place.
This place here called That One Place.
That One Place, yeah. But these young men are an example of what American young people need to be like.
Seriously.
The gumbo is really good.
Worth the wait?
Yeah. I mean,
Hazel, does that smell good to you? Corey brought me to his work. He had to pick up some things, and somebody gave us these bars. I don't know if they're cereal bars or what. Reese's Puffs. Corey does not have a sweet tooth, but he swears by these and said they're delicious. All Lowe's, where my hubby and our retirement savings goes. This is definitely his happy place. He could easily spend hours here. We just looked around at a lot of the produce, as well as some flowers for some landscaping we want to be doing in the front yard. This tomato plant was so cute. It had little baby tomatoes on it. I just love it, and we had to have it. Look at the cute little bee. So we just left Lowe's, and it's still pretty early in the year. We didn't really see any flowers or plants that kind of jumped out at us for landscaping in our front yard. As far as our garden, we have plenty of seeds on hand, but seeds just haven't really been working out for us lately. So Corey got a couple of different types of tomatoes. I think he got some broccoli, kale, maybe some romaine lettuce, and some jalapeno peppers, just to kind of start us off. But this is probably going to be one of many trips that we make to the garden center. Corey is the one who is majorly into gardening. I get very, very frustrated as an OCD person when plants don't take, or when the squirrels get them, or our dogs get them, or our cats use the flower bed as a litter box. Corey loves it for therapy purposes. Hazel, are you licking the sweat off of me?
I just got some plants because we were at Lowe's. So I like to have a couple just to start with. And then I'll probably go home and start the seeds this weekend or early next week. Should have started them a month ago, but hopefully start them in time. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. We got different ones. I just got to pick and choose what I want to do this year. So we had good luck with broccoli and cauliflower last year. Always had luck with tomatoes and peppers. But if we have 100 days over 100 degrees like we did last summer, then hardly anything's going to survive. So
in limbo a little bit because we don't plan on being in our home that we're currently living in for years and years to come. So that makes planting trees very difficult because even though we've planted quite a few fruit trees and some of them are producing, but like the oranges, for example, they still just don't taste good. So that's kind of a very time-consuming endeavor. It's Sunday, and that means we are going to regroup and reset and try to get organized for the upcoming week. We are pulling out all the stops. Basically, every single one of our appliances is in use. It feels like we are making tomato basil soup in the Instapot. We're going to make a double batch and freeze some of it. I'll be sure to link the recipe in the description box below, but I'm also going to just show you real quickly how we throw it together. Corey is also going to be smoking something on his new portable smoker.
it's an electric smoker. It does air frying, does baking, does broiling. It does dehydrating. So we'll see how it works out.
And it's portable, right?
Yeah,
So we're going to take it camping with us. He's going to put one of those Nolan Ryan roasts on the smoker, right? Mm-hmm. That's going to be the first thing you cook. But these little baby potatoes, look how cute these are. I love these. I'm going to make this as a side instead of roasting it with the meat. I know my vegetarian daughters won't eat any potatoes that have meat juice drippings on it. So I'm going to make this in the slow cooker with some butter. One of these garlic and herb salad dressing seasoning mixes. Also, we did a small grocery haul at Walmart. I got a couple of unique things that I thought might be interesting. I got this cotton candy popcorn and this maple bacon popcorn. I tried the cotton candy. I wanted to love it. I'm not a fan. If you're a big fan of Starbucks strawberry acai pink drinks, I did find this pink latte strawberry acai coconut milk latte powder. It was either at Ross or TJ Maxx. I can't remember. I know that's not very helpful. Olivia tried it, so it's in a powder form and you just mix it with water. I don't think she mixed the clumps very well. I told her we have one of those emulsifiers that you can use to stir it up real good, but I think the flavor is there. It just doesn't mix very well. No, it's Girl Scout cookie season, and I'm just going to keep it real. Inflation, these cookies went up 100%. In our area are now $6 a box. It's no longer a box, it's actually plastic. So when you open it, there's not really a good way to seal it. The cookies are a lot smaller. So at Walmart, we just got our favorite cookies there. I got the fudge mint, which is like the thin mints. And then these are like the Samoa, and they taste just the same. A fraction of the cost. I think one of these was $2 and one was $2.50. The more you know. After I washed the potatoes really well, I put them in my small slow cooker. Then I realized I wanted to add carrots. I had an open bag that I need to use up. So once again, here I am trying so hard to make something fit. And it's not working out to my advantage, but luckily Corey was nearby. I was going to put 4 tablespoons of butter in here and try to put the lid on. And then it wouldn't go on naturally. So he had the genius idea to cut it up into little pats of butter. And while he was doing that, I just added the garlic and herb dry salad dressing mix. And then we went ahead and set this on high. And we wanted it to kind of be timed to be done when the roast is done on the smoker. Next, Corey just tenderized the roast, and then he added some dry rub to it. Ninja makes their own pellets, so Corey decided to use these. Now for the tomato basil soup. We're going to do a 28-ounce can of diced and crushed tomatoes. We're going to do a quart of our turkey broth. We're also going to add an entire jar of roasted red peppers, about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and then Corey's going to dump a crap ton of spices in here, mostly Italian, some onions, some garlic. I'll be sure to leave a video in the description box below where I go into a little bit more detail about how we make this soup. It is so easy. Right now, Corey is just putting some fresh basil in there. If I was to guess, I would say he's using, I don't know, it looks like a fistful. It's supposed to be about a tablespoon and a half. He dumped about a tablespoon of sugar in there to offset the acid. Now he's putting about a half a cup of butter and a cup of heavy whipping cream. Next, we used the emulsion blender and just blended it up. It was so good. Now it's time to get the roast off the smoker and let it rest for a little bit. Alright y'all, it's been a minute since we've done a taste test for y'all with something we cooked at home. Normally at the end of the day, by the time we're done cooking, the last thing we want to do is film our reaction eating it. I have already started on these carrots and potatoes, just eating with our hands.
Yeah.
And they are the bomb. They are insane. I just threw this together. So what was it? It was like 4 tablespoons of butter. I threw the carrots, the potatoes, and then what was the dressing I used?
Garlic herb.
Garlic herb. Delicious. We just went and grabbed one of our seasoned packets back there, and it was awesome. I'll definitely make this again.
Meat's a little dry. We don't really like the dry rub. I may have put too much on. I didn't realize how spicy it was, but I have a Wi-Fi temperature probe for the cooking. I didn't hook that up. I just threw this on there last minute, and I let it go a little too long, so it is a little bit dry. It's got a hard crust on it, but it's really spicy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, it's okay. Like the cooker did what it wanted. You know, I like it. It was electric and it's constant heat, so I'll just have to get used to it.
I actually like it. He likes the fattier pieces of meat. I like the burnt ends. So to me, I like this. Now, I will say with the rub, a little bit goes a long way. Corey doesn't want to use it ever again. I'm not sure if it's the fault of the actual seasoning or if we just use too much of it. Spicy, so yeah. Definitely. He was just like dumping it on. I think he used what? 2 cups worth of seasoning. Oh, I think the meat is really good. Mm-hmm. I think it's delicious. See, I got the little burnt end pieces. Those are the pieces I like. But it is spicy. Did you try the potatoes and carrots?
Really good.
I mean, I was thinking I'd need to add garlic or something, but that little tiny seasoning packet did the trick. Corey was hoping I would not see this because he knows I like to pick up furniture on the side of the road. We really are maxed out on the furniture we're refurbishing at home, but you know, look at it. Looks good. Just needs a little sprucing up, a little paint job, little finishing. Not bad for free. There's a couple of tough chihuahuas that live up the road from us, and I enjoy passing them when we go for a walk. They like to come out to the street and guard their turf and bark at us and then dart. They're so cute. You showed them who the boss was. If you've made it to the end of my video, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to close out by doing my Bible study message. Now, I do post my Bible study message on my community page, and the ones I incorporate into my video is a little bit further behind. So, for example, I'm currently studying 1 Peter, but I'm still doing voiceovers for the end of my study in the book of James. So, I just finished up studying James chapter 2, and this book reads like Proverbs of the New Testament with many, many great topics of wisdom. The book of James is also controversial in that some may read it out of context and assume that James contradicts Paul when it comes to faith and works. Martin Luther was outspoken against the message of James, but we must understand that the Word of God has passages that are meant for certain groups of people in their walk of faith. When Paul wrote to the Galatians, it was a letter of strong warning. When Paul wrote his letter to the Corinthians, they were full of correction. Yet when Paul wrote to the Thessalonians, it was full of encouragement. He wrote different letters based on what these people were going through in their walk with Christ. The writer of Hebrews was talking to Jewish Christians who were fearful of facing persecution and were considering going back to practicing the law of Moses. Now we have James, who is speaking to an audience of wilderness Christians who are lukewarm in their faith. He is reminding them that they shouldn't be casual with their words by saying, "Yeah, I believe," but to also be active and say, "I receive." He is saying that once we believe and receive, it will show in our action, our daily lives, which he refers to as deeds, law, works. He is not speaking of man-made religion or rituals that are being required for salvation. He's saying that once you receive the Holy Spirit, you desire to follow up with actions that are considered works or good deeds. This is why it is so important to study the Bible in its entirety so that you aren't deceived. Once you have the context, what James is saying makes perfect sense. We are told not to show favoritism, to judge or discriminate against others because partiality is not the heart of God. 1 Samuel 16:17 tells us not to look on outward appearances because the Lord looks at the heart. Romans chapter 2 verse 11, Ephesians chapter 6 verse 9, and Colossians chapter 3 verse 25 reminds us that God shows no favoritism or partiality. If we need a reminder that partiality died with Christ on the cross, please read Galatians chapter 3 verses 27 to 29 and Romans chapter 3 verses 22 to 24. The second half of chapter 2 is where people seem to be confused about believers and their works, quote unquote. James is speaking to those guilty of easy believism. People see verses like John 3:16 and think all they need to do is shrug and nod and say, "I believe," because even the demons believe. James expresses that our actions are a result of our belief because faith results in action. We are to be doers, not just hearers. This is another great example of how quotes from the Bible are misconstrued. What God is, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but no deeds. And I'm sorry, I misread that, y'all. That's what good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but no deeds? That's verse 14. People may say, wait, Paul just told us we are saved by faith alone. Well, just keep reading because James gives you an example. Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if is not accompanied by action, is dead. And that's verse 16 to 17. He continues with how faith and action must work together to be complete. He's speaking to those people who say, "I will pray for you," who really don't. He is talking to those who go to church on Sunday but gossip and judge others the other 6 days. He's reminding those who say that they believe that if they truly receive the Holy Spirit, that the seed has been planted in them to walk out the passion to help brothers and sisters in their time of need, to be hearers and doers in order to be righteous before God. As the body without the Spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. That's James chapter 2, verse 26.